Hi, everybody, and thanks for watching our recorded information session for the Study Tour program, Shaping Futures, Climate Change in Indonesia. My name is Alistair. I work for Swinburne Abroad, and joined with me today is your academic tour lead, Beta, and together we will be telling you more about this exciting program that we have in store for you. We're planning on running this from the 1st to the 14th of December 2024. So just some things to know before we get started. There are 2 information sessions, but the content will be very similar to this video. So if you've watched this video, there is no need to attend the sessions that are coming up. So this program is open to all undergraduate students who have completed at least 100 credit points. And it's open to local and international students. However, only Australian citizens can qualify for some of the funding incentives that I'm going to talk about, such as the NCP and an OS help loan, which I'll talk about a bit later. So the purpose of today's session is largely to tell you about the program. So I've mentioned the dates, but we will talk about the costs. We're going to cover the likely activities you're going to get involved with. Bitter will cover the academic content. I'll talk about the process on how you can apply. And the reason we do this is to be transparent in terms of your financial commitment and what you can expect and your obligations. And I'll touch a little bit on mismanagement, but we'll talk about that a little bit further in the process where we go more into depth in terms of keeping you safe while on program. And the reason we do this is to manage your expectations. So we will talk about the intensity of the program and the expected commitment from you as a participant. And hopefully via the delivery of all this information, the benefits of your commitment should become clear. So I'm now going to hand it over to Beta to tell you more about this exciting program that we have in store. Thank you, Beta.
Thank you, Al, and thank you all the students who are watching this video. So my name is Beta, and I'm coming from the School of Science with a background and major in microbial biotechnology. And right now I'm working with the WIL academic program, who are running the placement internship and some of the career focused type of the units. So what is specific about my vision to lead this type of the project is about how students can bring the different discipline knowledge and that lens of different discipline knowledge to work together. And I'm really keen to see that partnership between the students from different discipline, and not just the partnership between the peer-to-peer from different discipline, but also that strong connection between us, the educators who are passionate about your learning experience and your engagement. And also going beyond this, working with the local educator from Indonesia. So we are talking about different, stakeholders from Indonesia, including the local students. So you can see it's a kind of a multi-layer of connections and a multi-layer of the knowledge that you bring to the practice. So we are going to work on a proposed project, which is offered by our industry partners back in Indonesia from different disciplines. And again, we are going to brainstorm, we are going to work together, we are going to be in contact with them to unpack a project linked to the climate change. And through this practice, we are hoping that you can develop your, your career skills. Of course, you learn from each other. And of course, I have some, a video and from our previous study tour, which was amazing experience for all of us being involved, and it's actually invite more extended networking between us educators from different institutions, between the students. So we are going to come together and we are going to work. And of course, there are some activities behind what you are going to unpack the the project, which is linked to the this climate change, and that is about how you're going to act as a science citizen to inspire the young minds of school kids. And that's part of our vision. We don't want to just, okay, we bring the discipline knowledge, that's fantastic, unpack the project, come with a recommendation. But I think we do care about our community, and we do care about you to act and lead as a, again, I am the science citizen, and raise that awareness. Because if this is a global challenge, we need everyone's to get involved. And you, our Swinburne students, are going to be the leader of this. And I'm sure that you will enjoy. Next slide, please. So I guess we had a great experience during summer in Malaysia. So the same strategy is going to be used. And this time I'm very confident from what we learned. We are going to have 2 weeks of the study tour that comes with the combination of, working with different groups and working with different university and educators. And as I said, we might have some site visits that every one of us are going to contribute. So we try to choose some of the projects that it helps you understanding some of the challenges back in Indonesia. And these times we would like to bring that the extra lens of the gender balance, because we know that there is a priority back in Indonesia to invite girls and women into the STEM, similar to any places we go, and here in Australia. So we do care about the site visits during week 1 and week 2, and some of the fun and cultural activities, and for you individually with your team member, for you with the whole team, and of course how to unpack the climate change and how to inspire girls and women into the STEM. So that is about the 2 weeks of the schedule for your program. And this is just the highlights of, again, just an evidence of what we are doing. It's already experienced and we are confident. So in the first picture in this highlights as part of our Malaysian program, which we did with our amazing students from Swinburne and amazing stakeholders from Malaysia. You can see in the first collected image those students who were working with different stakeholders on the project. So we have participation in the press events. We had a chance to go to mangrove forest. We had a chance to meet universities, students, local students, and local educators. And so the second one, it was about the fun and cultural activities, which is still very important for us, how we are going to, through this connection, we learn from our best practices. And that might be something relevant to the climate change again. For example, the charity organization who collected all the food waste to distribute between the people who were need this food, and instead of taking those food to be wasted, we distributed to the people who need it. So we had some in practice a meeting with the indigenous people from Malaysia. We exchanged the idea and best practices, and it was lovely to be with them and sit with them and cook together and meet and eat together. So that was a lovely experience. And we had some painting, some of the experience that I never did in my life, and it was amazing to do it with the students. And you can see in the third image, we have again, we are acting, we would like to invite our students to raise the awareness, and the targeted grade 5 and 6 from a school was the group of kids from our community that they are inspired by our Swinburne students just by sharing what are some of the findings from our our field trip and our project, and inspire kids to hopefully in future choose to come and join us at university and do something that you're doing. And I believe we are going to watch this video, which is going to be shared with one of our lovely students. And Kat is going to tell us about her experience. All right. I guess that was kind of an authentic voice from the students who was with us in the previous summer study tour. For you to be convinced that we are very mindful about why we are doing what we are doing, and we think about different aspects of this project. So we want you to develop cultural competency, act as a global citizenships, and we would love to see how you develop your skills to act as a global science communicator, and of course improve your professional development and all of this is about you collecting evidences and practice on something that potential employer will be asked you in future. And you will have evidence of doing and showing that, those skills. So, and act as a future ready, people who are going to join the, hopefully in future in your desired career. So I guess beyond what we just discussed, if we go to the next slide, please. So in terms of the requirements for this, this unit, so this is an elective unit. Students keep asking me if it's involved with any credit points. Yes. So it's going to cover 12.5 credit points. I don't want to go with the details to overwhelm you, but please, this is about your experience. We will give you freedom and flexibility to be involved with working in the field and working and extend your networking and working on a project linked to the climate change. But you have 6 weeks to finish this time kind of a ongoing project, which hopefully again come together, and you're going to add in a created kind of a website as a team, and then some reflection on that. So again, this is kind of a product that you're doing that, but you want to call it assignment. Let's call it assignment. So it's going to help you again as a evidence for a product that what you have done during 6 weeks for a potential employer. And of course, because I'm working again with a work integrated learning team who care about your career, we really want to make sure that during this practice, you improve and you practice your employability skills. So you're going to be earning some, learning some flexibility, adaptability, and as a team with the discipline knowledge, able to come with a problem, solve, action and communicate. So all the evidences of the teamwork and leadership and cultural awareness, these are all the evidences that you are going to collect from this study tour. Thank you, Al.
Thank you, Beta. I think it's over to me now to talk about the cost of the program, which I'm sure everybody is dying to know. So the cost of the program, and before you think 3,700 is a lot, you will notice there that the out-of-pocket expense after the scholarship is only $700 plus your airfares. And just a little word on airfares. So I traveled to Indonesia recently and I paid about $1,000, and that was with Garuda Airlines. A lot of students have chosen lower cost carriers and can get there for around $500, $600, depending on who you're traveling with and whether you get a deal or not. So we tend to go on the conservative side and put in an airfare cost there, but you can likely get there cheaper. So for very little out-of-pocket expense, you get to be involved in a really exciting program, and you get to tackle a very important issue at the same time. And as part of that cost, which is approximately $700 out of pocket plus airfares after you apply the scholarship, you get your accommodation, and it's twin share, and we put you up in hotels. You won't be staying in any backpackers or anywhere unsecure. It's safe, it's secure. Generally with the hotels we stay at, you get a nice breakfast in the morning, usually a buffet breakfast. All the in-country transport is included. So from the time you check into your hotel till the time you depart, all the program related travel is all included. There's no additional cost there. Some lunches and dinners will be included, and the sightseeing and excursions are also part of this cost. What's not included in that cost is the unit fees, the teaching fees for the unit which we enroll you into, which is 12.5 credit points. That is separate. So for local students, that's going to go on your HEX help. You're not going to see that cost. If there are any international students participating, and that's completely fine, you may do so, just please note that the unit cost will be in addition to the program cost, which is 3,700 for you, because unfortunately international students aren't eligible for that scholarship. Flights, of course, you book yourself, so that will be at your own expense. You will need to obtain a visa to get into Indonesia. You can apply for one upon arrival, or you can do it online before you get there. I'd recommend doing it online just to save you time, and your personal expenses. So your nights are free. So you can go out, you can explore, and of course that will be on your own expense. Most people get together and have group dinners with the rest of the groups. But that's at your own expense, unless we say it's a group dinner and it's part of the itinerary. So in terms of the application deadline, you've still got some time to apply, but I would apply as soon as possible. But the absolute last date you can apply for this exciting program is the 31st of August, which is the end of this month. And then we endeavour to make offers a week or two after that, so we can let you know whether the program is 100% going ahead once we have all the numbers and minimum numbers are met, which we suspect will. This program is probably going to be pretty popular given that we've ran it already and it was quite a successful program. Now, we will have some preparatory sessions before you depart. There may be one or two of those, maybe a couple more. The academic will let you know the schedule, but they're fairly light. Okay, there's not a huge expectation that you take a lot of time out of semester 2 in order to prepare, but there is some commitment and we will let you know about that commitment. But I know from a study abroad perspective, we have a session where we involve health services and we talk about your health and well-being overseas. I will talk about travel tips, what to expect, what to do. And there, I suspect there will be some academic sessions where we meet the clients and the collaborators so that you get to do some research and you get to prepare prior to actually going on this program. Vita, I don't know if you want to add a little bit more about those preparatory sessions now, or we won't overwhelm them and maybe tell them later.
I think you already summarized what
Okay.
the main points, but we think
Sure.
all I just want to say that we think about all of this step for you to have a smooth transition to what you need to do, and then having that kind of a functional brain and the joy that you can be involved in the project.
Thank you. So as I mentioned earlier, we have funding that we've secured from the Australian government, and it's called the New Colombo Plan, and it's the mobility grant. It's not to be confused with the lucrative scholarship, which requires you to do quite a lot of work. All you need to do to get a scholarship is you need to be an Australian citizen. You cannot have residency rights in Indonesia if applying for this as well. So you can't be a dual citizen, in short, and you cannot have received more than one NCP grant in the past. So you're allowed two of these short-term grants, and it's worth $3,000. And that's kind of how we got derived at that out-of-pocket expense of 700 plus airfares. But the full cost, if you are an international student, will be 3,700 plus airfares. Just reiterating that. Well, here's the eligibility, which I just covered. There is an age restriction, but it's okay if you're a mature age student. There is an allowance for a certain percentage of the students to be outside of that age bracket, 18 to 30. And we have 20 funded places. So if you apply and you meet the eligibility criteria, you're likely going to get a scholarship, which is good news for anyone who's thinking about going on this program. So in addition to the scholarship, I'd just like to point out that you may not need any savings, pre-savings to come on this program if you qualify for the OS Help Loan as well. So the OS Help Loan is a HEX Help Loan that you can add to your HEX debt. So it's only available to local students. For Asia, you can borrow up to $9,504. Now that's a lot for this program. You could potentially take half of that. There are two fixed amounts. This funds get transferred into your bank account. You get to opt in if you get made an offer. You'll see a question when you're going to accept your offer saying, would you like to apply for an OS Help Loan? So we'll actually tell you whether you're eligible. But for those of you that are wondering whether you're eligible, before you apply, you only need to have completed 100 credit points, and you need to be coming back to a unit of study in SEM 1 2025. If you meet that criteria and if you're an Australian citizen, you'll likely be able to access this OS Help Loan as well. And you can start paying that back when you start working, and you're paying back the rest of your HEX debt as well. So to apply for this program, I'm going to send out these slides to anyone who has expressed their interest. So you can just click on this little hyperlink here, Alternatively, you can just go to our website. There's an apply now button if you find this program through our website. Now, there is a question that asks about your motivation as to why you want to go on this program. And as Beta already discussed, there is a number of objectives and aims and things that you are likely going to do. And while we are not the fun police by any means, what we don't want to see is people just writing that they think it's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun, absolutely. But there are also things that we hope to achieve. And we want to see what is your motivation for going on this tour, because it definitely is not a Kentucky tour. There is a question there about what credit will you be applying for this? So we enroll you into a unit, and ideally you would have an elective free within your course in order to take this. So you just stipulate elective. And if you're not sure, it's fine. Submit it anyway. I will most likely fix it before I send it for approval to the enrollment specialists that sit within the Student HQ area. Now, it's absolutely imperative that upon applying for this program, that you receive a confirmation or a receipt of your application, and that usually goes to your student email. So I would allow maybe 15, 20 minutes having applied to look for that email. Please check your junk and spam. And if it's still not in any of those folders, please get in contact with me, as email is our main way of communicating with all of our students and participants during their customer journey. So I guess from an obligations perspective, it's imperative that you check your emails if you're serious about going on this program at least every few days, so that you don't miss any important communications from us. So as I mentioned earlier, you will receive an offer letter, and it's important that you, having applied, and if you are successful, you will get an offer, and it's important that you read the offer letter in its entirety and all the T's and C's. And I know how much everybody hates reading these days, but it does stipulate all important information, and we've tried to make it as succinct as possible. But please read it before you accept, even if you are ready to go and excited about the program. And upon acceptance, our system will then shoot you off another email, which sends you payment instructions to pay $200. Okay, so we require that deposit before we pay out any scholarships and funding to any students, just so that we know you are seriously committed to going on this program. And I do say, do not commit lightly, because we may not refund you your money of $200 if the program progresses and you decide you just want to withdraw without extenuating circumstances. But in saying that, most people that commit generally see it through and go on our exciting programs. And just a word of warning with travel documents, just don't leave renewing passports if you need to till the last minute. Your passport needs to have 6 months validity from December 2024. So if your passport looks like it's going to expire in June 2025, get it renewed once we make you an offer, because it's likely the program's going to run and you're going to need your passport, and you may not be able to get on the plane if it expires before June 2025. And there is a travel requirement. This is non-negotiable, that all students book through our travel provider, Reho Travel. It's a fairly straightforward process. They're a travel agent, but they're Swinburne's travel agent. They are a trusted travel agent. They know our requirements. They manage risk. They align with our sustainability practices, and they provide us with all your travel information. And it's why we use them to manage risk. And it's fairly straightforward. Once we get the tick of approval, yes, the program's going ahead 100%. I will send you a link. You simply log on to that link, you log on to their website, and you book your airfare, just like you would with like your Webjet or your Flight Centre or any other travel provider, Expedia, things like that. And just in terms of why you would do this program, look, I'm not going to rehash what Beta said already, but I will say that the friendships that you get from doing these sort of interactions and programs tend to endure. So I went on a program back in 2017, and I still keep in contact with some of those people today. So while I was a student, I went on a program to Asia, and we catch up periodically, and, you know, of course on socials and stuff, just to see how we're going. But it's an intense activity, I will tell you that. And the relationships and a lot of the stuff that you do is of an intense nature, and they tend to endure, as does the learning and the enjoyment that you will likely have by doing this program. So if you have any questions, we've provided our information. You can send us an email. You can contact me for anything related to any of the administration or the funding or any of the stuff that I covered. But if you have specific questions about the activities or the academic nature of the program or what you're likely going to be doing, or if you just want to have a chat more about the program and your suitability, you're more than happy to contact either of us. But I would say contact Beta, because Beta is going to be doing the selection. And if you make a good impression, you're likely going to go on this program. But otherwise, I would like to thank you for watching this video and staying tuned for a little over half an hour. Thank you, Beta, as well, for your time. And we wish you all the best with your applications. And we hope to see you in Indonesia in December 2024 and before that, when we prepare you for your program. Thank you.
Thank you.